As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind...
Thank you very much for joining me today. This is video 13, Ignoring Wishes. The first document you will see on the screen is a letter from the lawyers who had instructed advocates or barristers to write my grandmother's will. So it's just a short letter showing her intentions to divide everything equally between her three sons. On the next page here, this is a very famous big firm now writing to my grandmother, Mrs. Margaret Edith Durrant, explaining they've taken note of her wishes and will act accordingly. They bring to her attention some of the following issues: that all of the property companies are very much intertwined, and if one of her wishes is for my father to act as an agent in one of the property companies, we have to consider exactly how Christopher gets paid from a UK tax point of view. On the next page here, we will see again the very famous and rich firm, who was much less famous and rich in those days, writing to my grandmother, explaining the wishes that she's wanting to implement in her will, also explaining that there could be difficulties with people working within the company and family members could be jealous. Over on the next page is a letter from my grandmother to her UK lawyer of the time. It's instructing some of her wishes, that she wants Mr. Christopher Durrant to be paid for the work he's already done on the companies for many years leading up to the death of my grandfather. She wants her son to be paid like all of the other professionals get paid. So this is again one of her expressed wishes going to the UK lawyer, which was ignored by the trustee. He still hasn't paid my father after all these years for the work he actually did on the property companies. Over on the next page now, you will see the UK lawyer writing to my grandmother, Mrs. Margaret Edith Durrant, saying basically she wants to know exactly what sort of information and work Chris would be doing for the company so she can get the trustee to implement her wishes for him to be paid. Now, over to the next document. This is in relation to a trust that was set up for the benefit of myself and my brother. This was destroyed by the trustee, and you can see there what they actually say. So far as Bramtros is concerned, your mother is aware that the company was set up as a separate entity to the trust. She feels there must be some misunderstanding and will discuss with the trustee the interest in the mortgage and the option with a view to considering how those interests may be released in order to leave you with a company entirely under your own control. So again, the trustee destroyed that. You can imagine I'm quite annoyed with him. That was going to be my family, or my brother and I's company, like my cousins have independent companies. You can see in the bottom paragraph there, they said that your threat to make a full disclosure to the revenue is noted. So what my father does eventually is inform on the inland, tells the inland revenue that there was tax liabilities outstanding. So that's another reason why all these individuals hate my side of the family for doing the right thing. On the next page here, you will see another letter from Margaret Edith Durrant, my grandmother, writing to my father, saying to him, I don't exactly agree with some of the tones you bring with the trustee, but some of the things you're alleging happens to be true. She's also stated here, I did not give permission to the trustee to get involved in Bramtros or investigating accounting to do with the other property company in the UK. On the next page, you can see it's still my grandmother writing to my father, explaining some of her wishes. And she certainly did not want any litigation to go against her children You can see in the last 3 sentences. So the trustee is actually starting legal action against my family, against her wishes. Also at the top of the page you can see here the distribution to the children should not take into account lifetime gifts, and what the trustee has done is got records of what gifts were given over to each side of the family, and has included that in the trust to make out he's given that money out to us, even though he hasn't. It's another trick they do. I could do a whole video just on that. On the next page here, you will see that my father is very reluctant to do any more work in his professional capacity, for which he has not received payment for in the past. That's highlighted there. So these people just got lots of information out of my father, who used to work with my grandfather on the property companies before his murder, knew lots of inside information of different assets and bank accounts, and basically got all the information out of him, made him work for many years, and then didn't pay him his inheritance, let alone his costs. On the next page here you'll see the lawyers who represented my side of the family, saying it's very disappointing that Michael or Peter, who are my dead uncles now, haven't given any information over with regards to the lifetime gifts that they were given. So it's just another delay by the trustee, in cahoots, unfortunately, with the other side of my family. On the next page here you will see it's just people are baffled to the refusal to hand over certain information, to basically end up winding up the estate and hand out the money. So these are just examples of some of the tricks that the individuals have done by ignoring my grandmother's wishes to not include lifetime gifts, to pay my father for the work he's done, and also to instruct him as a property agent, and much more. Thank you very much for listening today. Thank you. Bye-bye.